Imagine a ruler so wealthy that even today, historians struggle to estimate the true value of his fortune. A king whose journey across continents changed entire economies, inspired mapmakers, and introduced the world to one of Africa's greatest empires. This is the remarkable story of Mansa Musa, the legendary emperor of the Mali Empire, a man widely regarded as the richest individual in recorded history. When people think of extraordinary wealth, they often picture modern billionaires, powerful business leaders, or famous industrialists. Yet centuries before banks, stock markets, or multinational corporations existed, Mansa Musa ruled over a kingdom blessed with vast natural resources and thriving trade. His wealth was not measured by digital accounts or financial investments, but by direct control over some of the world's richest gold mines, profitable trade routes, fertile lands, and prosperous cities. His empire supplied a significant portion of the gold circulating throughout the medieval world, making Mali one of the most influential economic powers of its time. Mansa Musa ruled during the early 14th century, a period when West Africa was experiencing remarkable political and economic growth. The Mali Empire stretched across a vast region that included parts of present-day Mali, Senegal, Guinea, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, Niger, and neighboring territories. This enormous empire stood at the crossroads of international trade, connecting sub-Saharan Africa with North Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. Merchants crossed the Sahara Desert carrying gold, salt, ivory, textiles, and other valuable goods, transforming Mali into a center of commerce that attracted traders from distant lands. However, Mansa Musa's greatness cannot be explained by wealth alone. He was also remembered as a capable administrator, a devoted Muslim, a generous patron of education, and a ruler who believed that knowledge and culture were essential to a strong civilization. During his reign, cities such as Timbuktu developed into internationally respected centers of learning, attracting scholars, teachers, architects, and students from across the Islamic world. His investment in education and public institutions helped shape the intellectual history of West Africa for generations. The event that made Mansa Musa famous across the world was his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324. This religious journey was unlike anything people had ever witnessed. Historical accounts describe an enormous caravan consisting of thousands of attendants, soldiers, servants, merchants, and camels carrying large quantities of gold. Along the route, Mansa Musa generously distributed gold to the poor, donated to religious institutions, and rewarded local communities. His generosity became so extraordinary that, according to several historical sources, the sudden increase in the supply of gold contributed to inflation in Cairo, temporarily reducing the value of the precious metal. Although historians continue to debate the exact scale of this economic impact, the journey undeniably established his reputation throughout Africa, the Middle East, and Europe. As stories of his wealth spread, European mapmakers began illustrating Mansa Musa on medieval maps, often depicting him seated on a magnificent throne while holding a large piece of gold. These images reflected not only his personal fortune, but also the growing awareness of the Mali Empire as one of the world's great civilizations. At a time when much of Europe knew little about sub-Saharan Africa, Mansa Musa's fame encouraged merchants, explorers, and scholars to pay greater attention to the region. Yet behind the legends lies a deeper story. Mansa Musa's success was built upon centuries of political organization, thriving trade networks, skilled administrators, hardworking farmers, experienced merchants, and rich natural resources. His reign represented the peak of the Mali Empire's influence, demonstrating that medieval Africa was home to powerful states, advanced systems of government, vibrant cities, and flourishing centers of education. His achievements challenge outdated stereotypes by revealing the complexity and sophistication of African civilizations long before the modern era. Before Mansa Musa became the ruler of the Mali Empire, West Africa was already a region of great wealth, powerful kingdoms, and flourishing trade. It was home to rich natural resources, fertile lands, and important trade routes that connected sub-Saharan Africa with North Africa and the Middle East. These connections allowed merchants to exchange goods, ideas, and cultures across vast distances. One of the region's greatest strengths was its abundance of gold. West Africa contains some of the richest gold deposits in the world, making it a key supplier of the precious metal during the medieval period. Along with gold, salt was another valuable commodity. Since salt was essential for preserving food and maintaining health, it was often traded for gold, creating a profitable economy that benefited the kingdoms controlling these trade routes. Before the rise of the Mali Empire, the ancient Ghana Empire dominated much of the trans-Saharan trade. As Ghana's influence declined due to changing political and economic conditions, a new power began to emerge. Under the leadership of Sundiata Keita in the 13th century, the Mali Empire united several kingdoms and established a strong and stable government. This laid the foundation for one of the greatest empires in African history. The people of West Africa lived in diverse communities with rich cultural traditions. Farming, livestock, craftsmanship, and trade were central to everyday life. Markets were busy with merchants selling gold, salt, ivory, textiles, and other valuable goods. At the same time, Islam spread gradually through trade, especially among merchants and rulers, while many local traditions continued to thrive. By the early 14th century, the Mali Empire had become one of the most prosperous and influential states in Africa. Its growing wealth, strategic location, and well-organized government created the perfect conditions for a remarkable ruler to rise. It was into this powerful empire that Mansa Musa inherited the throne, beginning a reign that would make both his name and the Mali Empire famous throughout the world. The Mali Empire emerged in the early 13th century as one of the most powerful kingdoms in West Africa. Its rise began under the leadership of Sundiata Keita, a visionary ruler who united several small kingdoms after defeating the Sasso Kingdom at the Battle of Karina around 1235. His victory marked the beginning of a new era of peace, stability, and political unity, laying the foundation for one of the greatest empires in African history. Under Sundiata's leadership, Mali expanded rapidly by bringing neighboring regions under its control and securing important trade routes across West Africa. The empire benefited greatly from its rich gold mines and its position along the trans-Saharan trade network. Merchants from North Africa traveled to Mali to trade gold, salt, ivory, and other valuable goods, making the empire an important center of commerce and economic prosperity. Sundiata also established a well-organized system of government. Local leaders were allowed to manage their communities while remaining loyal to the emperor. This balance between central authority and regional leadership helped maintain peace across the empire's vast territories. Strong laws, efficient administration, and protection of trade encouraged both economic growth and political stability. After Sundiata's death, later rulers continued to strengthen the empire by expanding its territory and increasing its wealth. By the beginning of the 14th century, the Mali Empire stretched across much of present-day Mali, Senegal, Guinea, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, and neighboring regions. It had become one of the largest and wealthiest empires in the medieval world. The strong political system, thriving economy, and vast natural resources created the perfect foundation for the reign of Mansa Musa. When he ascended the throne, he inherited not only a prosperous empire, but also the opportunity to transform Mali into a global symbol of wealth, knowledge, and power. Very little is known with certainty about Mansa Musa's early life, as historical records from the period are limited. Most historians believe he was born in the late 13th century into the royal Keita family, the dynasty that ruled the Mali Empire. Growing up in a noble household, Musa was likely educated in leadership, administration, military strategy, and Islamic teachings, preparing him for the responsibilities of royal life. As a young prince, Musa witnessed the rapid growth of the Mali Empire. He observed how merchants crossed the Sahara Desert with valuable goods, how local governors managed distant provinces, and how the empire's wealth depended on trade, agriculture, and natural resources. These experiences helped him understand the importance of strong leadership, economic stability, and cooperation among the diverse peoples of the empire. Although many details of his youth remain unknown, historians agree that Musa earned a reputation for intelligence, patience, and sound judgment. His calm personality and understanding of governance made him a trusted member of the royal court. These qualities would later prepare him to lead one of the largest and wealthiest empires in the medieval world. Mansa Musa's life changed dramatically when Emperor Abu Bakr II is believed to have launched an expedition across the Atlantic Ocean in search of new lands. Before departing, Abu Bakr reportedly appointed Musa as his deputy to govern the empire. When the emperor never returned, Musa officially became the ruler of Mali around 1312. He inherited a strong and prosperous kingdom and would soon guide it to its greatest period of wealth, influence, and international recognition. Mansa Musa became the ruler of the Mali Empire around 1312 CE, but his rise to the throne was unusual. According to historical accounts, Emperor Abu Bakr II decided to organize a large expedition across the Atlantic Ocean, hoping to discover what lay beyond the known world. Before leaving, Abu Bakr appointed Musa, a trusted member of the royal Keita family, to govern the empire in his absence. The expedition reportedly sailed with hundreds of ships, but neither the emperor nor his fleet ever returned. With Abu Bakr II presumed dead, Mansa Musa was officially crowned as the new emperor of Mali. He inherited a vast and prosperous empire that controlled important trade routes, rich gold mines, and diverse communities across across West Africa. Instead of focusing only on expanding his personal power, Musa worked to strengthen the empire's administration, protect commerce, and maintain political stability. His wisdom, leadership, and commitment to good governance quickly earned the respect of both his people and neighboring states. From the beginning of his reign, Mansa Musa understood that true strength came not only from wealth but also from justice, education, and strong institutions. These principles guided his rule and prepared the Mali Empire for its greatest period of prosperity. Under his leadership, Mali would become internationally known for its immense riches, cultural achievements, and influence across the medieval world. The wealth of the Mali Empire was built on its control of the gold and salt trade, two of the most valuable resources in the medieval world. West Africa contained some of the richest gold mines on Earth, supplying a large share of the gold used in international trade. At the same time, salt, mined in the Sahara Desert, was an essential commodity because it preserved food, supported human health, and was difficult to obtain in many regions. Merchants traveled across the Sahara in large camel caravans, exchanging salt from the north for gold from the south, along with ivory, textiles, spices, and other valuable goods. When Mansa Musa became emperor, he strengthened and protected these trade routes, allowing commerce to flourish. The Mali Empire collected taxes from merchants and ensured the safety of caravans, increasing the kingdom's wealth and influence. Busy cities such as Timbuktu and Gao became important commercial centers where traders from Africa, the Middle East, and beyond met to exchange goods and ideas. This thriving trade not only made Mali one of the richest empires of its time, but also connected it to the wider medieval world, laying the foundation for Mansa Musa's legendary fortune and international reputation. During the reign of Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire became one of the wealthiest and most influential states in the medieval world. Its prosperity was driven by abundant natural resources, especially gold, as well as successful agriculture, thriving markets, and control of major trans-Saharan trade routes. The empire earned revenue through trade, taxes, and the exchange of valuable goods, allowing it to maintain a strong government and support economic growth. This wealth was not concentrated in gold alone. Mali also benefited from fertile farmland, skilled craftsmen, and bustling cities that attracted merchants from across Africa and the Islamic world. Mansa Musa used the empire's resources to strengthen his kingdom rather than simply accumulate personal riches. He supported the construction of mosques, schools, and public buildings, encouraged trade, and welcomed scholars, architects, and merchants from distant lands. Important cities such as Timbuktu, Gao, and Niani flourished as centers of commerce, culture, and learning. By combining economic strength with wise leadership and investment in education and infrastructure, Mansa Musa transformed Mali into a symbol of prosperity and influence, leaving a legacy that continued long after his reign had ended. In 1324 CE, Mansa Musa embarked on the most famous journey of his life by performing the Islamic pilgrimage, or Hajj, to the holy city of Mecca. As a devoted Muslim, he considered the pilgrimage both a religious duty and an opportunity to strengthen the Mali Empire's connections with the wider Islamic world. His caravan was extraordinary, consisting of thousands of attendants, soldiers, merchants, and servants, along with hundreds of camels carrying food, supplies, and large quantities of gold. As the caravan traveled through cities such as Cairo and Medina, Mansa Musa generously donated gold to the poor, supported religious institutions, and rewarded local communities. The pilgrimage attracted enormous attention because of its scale and the emperor's generosity. Contemporary accounts describe people being amazed by the size of his caravan and the immense wealth it displayed. During the journey, Mansa Musa also met scholars, religious leaders, and merchants, gaining knowledge and building valuable relationships. When he returned to Mali, he invited architects and scholars to his empire, helping transform cities like Timbuktu into internationally respected centers of learning, culture, and Islamic scholarship. His pilgrimage became one of the defining events of medieval history and established Mansa Musa's reputation far beyond the borders of Africa. As Mansa Musa traveled to Mecca in 1324 CE, his journey through Egypt became one of the most memorable events of his pilgrimage. Upon arriving in Cairo, then one of the greatest cities of the Islamic world, he was welcomed with great curiosity and respect. His enormous caravan, accompanied by thousands of followers and camels carrying gold, attracted the attention of local rulers, merchants, and ordinary citizens. Historical sources describe how his generosity impressed many people, as he gave gifts to the poor, donated to religious institutions, and spent large amounts of gold while passing through the city. Mansa Musa also met with the Mamluk Sultan al-Nasir Muhammad, strengthening strengthening diplomatic and cultural ties between the Mali Empire and Egypt. His visit introduced many people in the Middle East to the wealth and influence of Mali, a kingdom that had previously been little known outside West Africa. Although some historical accounts suggest that his generous distribution of gold temporarily reduced its value in Cairo, historians continue to debate the exact economic impact. Nevertheless, his journey through Egypt firmly established Mansa Musa's international reputation, making his name known across Africa, the Middle East, and eventually Europe. Mansa Musa's immense wealth had a lasting impact that reached far beyond the borders of the Mali Empire. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, his generous distribution of gold attracted widespread attention and introduced the world to the extraordinary prosperity of West Africa. Historical accounts suggest that the large amount of gold he spent in cities such as Cairo temporarily affected the local economy by increasing the supply of gold, although the exact scale of this impact remains a subject of historical debate. Regardless of the precise economic effects, his journey established Mali as one of the richest and most influential empires of the medieval era. The influence of Mansa Musa's wealth was not limited to gold alone. He invested in mosques, schools, libraries, and public buildings, helping transform cities like Timbuktu into renowned centers of learning and culture. His support for education, trade, and architecture attracted scholars, merchants, and skilled craftsmen from different parts of the Islamic world. Through these achievements, Mansa Musa demonstrated that true wealth could be used to strengthen a nation, promote knowledge, and leave a lasting legacy that continued to inspire generations long after his reign had ended. Under the reign of Mansa Musa, Timbuktu grew into one of the greatest centers of learning, trade, and culture in the medieval world. After returning from his pilgrimage to Mecca, Mansa Musa invited renowned scholars, architects, and skilled craftsmen to Mali, encouraging the construction of magnificent mosques, schools, and public buildings. The city became famous for institutions such as the Sankore University, where students studied subjects including theology, mathematics, astronomy, law, literature, and medicine. Its libraries preserved thousands of valuable manuscripts, making Timbuktu a symbol of knowledge and intellectual achievement across Africa and the Islamic world. This period is often regarded as the golden age of the Mali Empire because prosperity was matched by remarkable cultural and educational growth. Trade flourished, scholars exchanged ideas, and merchants from distant regions gathered in Timbuktu's busy markets. Mansa Musa's investment in education, religion, and infrastructure transformed the city into an international center of scholarship and commerce. His vision ensured that Mali was remembered not only for its extraordinary wealth but also for its lasting contributions to knowledge, culture, and civilization. Mansa Musa believed that a strong empire was built not only through wealth but also through knowledge and culture. During his reign, he invested heavily in education by supporting schools, libraries, and centers of learning, especially in the city of Timbuktu. He invited respected scholars, teachers, and judges from different parts of the Islamic world, helping the Mali Empire become a renowned center of education and intellectual exchange. Students traveled from distant regions to study subjects such as theology, mathematics, astronomy, law, and literature, making Timbuktu one of the most respected learning centers of its time. Mansa Musa also left a lasting mark on architecture by sponsoring the construction of beautiful mosques and public buildings that reflected both local African traditions and Islamic design. These projects strengthened the cultural identity of the empire while demonstrating its prosperity and artistic achievement. His greatest legacy, however, extended beyond buildings and wealth. Through his support for education, trade, religion, and good governance, Mansa Musa transformed the Mali Empire into one of the most influential civilizations of the medieval world. More than 7 centuries later, he is remembered not only as one of history's wealthiest rulers, but also as a visionary leader whose contributions to learning, culture, and African history continue to inspire people around the world. In the final years of his reign, Mansa Musa continued to strengthen the Mali Empire through wise administration, support for trade, and investment in education and religious institutions. Although he became famous for his immense wealth and legendary pilgrimage, he remained focused on maintaining peace and stability across his vast empire. Historical records from this period are limited, but they suggest that Mali remained one of the most prosperous and respected kingdoms in Africa under his leadership. Mansa Musa is believed to have died around 1337 CE, although the exact year is uncertain due to the limited historical sources available. After his death, the throne passed to his successors, who inherited a powerful and wealthy empire. However, they found it difficult to maintain the same level of unity and influence that Mansa Musa had achieved. Over time, internal conflicts, changing trade routes, and the rise of neighboring states gradually weakened the Mali Empire. Even so, Mansa Musa's legacy endured, and he continues to be remembered as one of history's greatest rulers, whose leadership, generosity, and vision left a lasting mark on Africa and the wider world. After the death of Mansa Musa, the Mali Empire gradually entered a period of decline. Although his successors inherited a vast and wealthy kingdom, they struggled to maintain the same level of strong leadership and political unity. Internal disputes over succession weakened the central government, while several provinces began seeking greater independence. At the same time, important trans-Saharan trade routes shifted, reducing the empire's income and economic influence. Rising regional powers, including the Songhai Empire, also challenged Mali's control over key cities and trading centers. Despite its gradual decline, the Mali Empire did not disappear overnight. It remained an important kingdom for many years, but its political power and international influence steadily diminished. Even as the empire lost territory, its cultural and educational achievements continued to shape West African history. The cities, traditions, and institutions that flourished during Mansa Musa's reign left a lasting legacy, ensuring that the Mali Empire would always be remembered as one of the greatest civilizations of the medieval world. More than 7 centuries after his reign, Mansa Musa remains one of the most remarkable figures in world history. While he is widely remembered as one of the wealthiest rulers ever recorded, his true legacy extends far beyond material riches. Through his commitment to education, trade, architecture, diplomacy, and good governance, he transformed the Mali Empire into a center of prosperity, learning, and cultural achievement. His leadership demonstrated how wealth could be used to strengthen a nation, encourage knowledge, and create opportunities for future generations. Mansa Musa's story also challenges many common misconceptions about medieval Africa. His reign reminds us that the continent was home to powerful empires, advanced centers of learning, and thriving international trade long before the modern era. Today, historians continue to study his achievements as an example of visionary leadership and economic success. His life serves as a lasting reminder that a ruler's greatest legacy is not measured only by the wealth they possess, but by the positive impact they leave on their people and on history. Even today, the name Mansa Musa stands as a symbol of prosperity, wisdom, and the extraordinary achievements of the Mali Empire.